I just finished reading Alex Hormozi's Goated Ads Playbook from the bundle of playbooks that cost me $6,000. And I discovered there's only one secret that you need to know to create winning ads that actually scale and grow your business. So if you run ads, but you can't seem to scale, and every time you increase ad spend, you hit a wall, then this is for you. Because in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the 5 levels of awareness that Hormozi talks about inside the Goated Ads playbook that are so powerful, it's actually been used by the world's best marketers since 1966. And then at the end, just give you the hook formulas for each level of awareness to use in your ads. So to let you know that this works, this is actually something that I use in one of the best ads that I've written here for a company called Create Studio. You can see it printed 18 million views, and it did millions and millions of dollars of revenue. It was one of the things that led to the founders being able to exit the company for $7 million. You can see here that my face is even in the thumbnail. And I had a whole bunch of people screenshot this and say, hey, and maybe even you've seen it, leave me a comment below. So screenshot this and say, hey, Jordan, do you know that your face is in? And I'm like, yeah, I wrote the ad, engineered the funnel. So the reason that this worked so well is that I looked at the levels of awareness and I broke down the ad to speak directly to the audience that we were trying to target in these different levels of awareness. And so what are these levels of awareness here? So number 5, you've got unaware. Then number 4, you've got problem aware. Then you've got solution aware, product aware, and most aware. And so as you go down this pyramid here, they get more profitable. And the mistake that most marketers, businesses, ad buyers make is that they create ads assuming that all of their audience are at this most aware level. And so once this audience is depleted, the ad gets pushed to product aware people, but the messaging is not congruent with the level of awareness that they have. So like the unaware prospects need completely different messaging than the people who are most aware. And of course, there's only a finite amount of most aware people, and most people are unaware that they even have a problem, that your solution exists, that your product exists, and that your brand exists. And so you need to completely reshift the script and the ad to present to whichever level of awareness you're going after. So this is like a really important fundamental part of creating any sort of marketing material. And Alex breaks it down really, really well inside of the Goated Ads playbook. So I'm going to share with you some of the frameworks that he talks about. But before I do that, this is not brand new. Like Alex, wraps things really nicely and then makes it really easy to understand. But he isn't inventing these things. These things have been around since 1966. So this is a guy called Eugene Schwartz, and he actually wrote a book here, which I happen to have, called Breakthrough Advertising. And it was the thing that clicked for me that led me to be able to create some of these ads that absolutely crushed it. And if your ad is targeting the most aware people, but the person on the other end of the ad is problem aware and not even solution aware, then they're not going to resonate with the ad. If you're talking to them about a solution, but they don't even know that they have a problem, why would they ever take action and purchase your product? And so this was like a massive click moment for me. And it's something that I learned inside of this book. But you can see here, this thing is near impossible to get, and the prices are ridiculous for a book. I paid $6,000 for a binder filled with books, so I guess this is a bargain, to be fair. But you can see here, Eugene talks about how there are 5 levels of customer awareness, and they look suspiciously like Hormozi's inverted pyramid here. You've got unaware, never heard of you or this problem. Problem aware, I've got a problem, but is there a solution? Solution aware, somebody out there must have what I need. And then product aware, I know you, but are you right for me? And then aware, or most aware, I know you, love you, and I want to buy. And so what most marketers do is that they target all of their ads and their messaging to sort of like this segment here. But starting with a problem is the easiest way to reach these mass amounts of people instead of just cleaning the top 3% off the top. And so this is what I sort of did in this video here.
If you're a business owner, then animated explainer videos are the best way to capture attention, get more followers, and drive more sales.
So calls out the target audience and then presents a big key insight.
They're engaging to watch, super shareable, convert better, and make you feel like you're watching a Pixar movie.
And then presents proof.
Which is why they're used by massive brands like Google, Amazon, and Facebook. The problem
More proof.
is they
The problem is
can cost up to $25,000 for just one video, or require a fancy animation degree or complicated software to create one yourself. But what if there was
presents the problem, future pace is the solution, and then all of a sudden you go, yeah, that does make a lot of sense. I do see Google and Facebook and all of these people using these types of animated videos. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know that this problem existed. And then what if this solution existed, right? And so you're sort of guiding them through these different levels of awareness. You can't just expect to like hit them with a 50% off coupon and expect them to purchase. They need to understand first that they have a problem, like admit that they have a problem, and then that the solution does exist, and then that you exist, and then that they should trust you and buy from you. And so you kind of need to go through all of these stages. And what most people get wrong is that they just kind of skip all of that and they go straight to the end. And this is something I learned from Breakthrough Advertising, published in 1966, like I mentioned. And then it was sort of reintroduced in the B2B space by a guy called Chet Holmes, where he's talking about how, very similar to Eugene, that there is this buyer's pyramid and that 3% of people are actively looking to purchase right now, 7% are open to buying, 30% not thinking about it, 30% don't think they're interested, and 30% know they're not interested. And so it's like there's some nuance, but it's very similar. There are some other examples of where this is found, and maybe some of you guys recognize this chap here. His name is Sabri Subi, and he's got something similar in what he talks about being the larger market formula, where you create, like, with your sales messaging, if you're just targeting the 3% of people who are ready to purchase right now, you're leaving so much money on the table because all these other people don't even know that you exist, and they don't even know that they have a problem yet. And so in this video here, he talks about it. It's a fantastic VSL.
In any given market, only 3% of people are looking to buy right now. Then there's a further 17% of the market that are in information gathering mode. These are the window shoppers who may not be looking to buy right now, but are open to it. Then there's a further 20% who are problem aware, meaning that they might know that they need a new car, need to lose weight, get more clients, etc., but aren't actively researching or looking to buy. Then there's the other 60% who aren't problem aware or looking to buy. Now here's where things burn like a mouthful of fire ants.
And so the unique mechanism here is that he goes after those, the 97% of people who don't even know you exist yet with lead magnets, and it's fantastic. And then there is this handsome man over here who talks about something similar. And I found that it's like an incredibly powerful way to frame myself as a unique marketer who creates engines that guide people up these awareness stages until they're ready to buy, right? Because most people don't know you exist. A lot of them don't know that they even have a problem yet, and so you're sort of asking to get married before you even introduce yourself. It's ridiculous. And so if you want to check that out, you can do that on Dopamine Digital here. Even worse, the reason you can't seem to build one is that you're trying to sell to people that don't even know that they need your solution yet. If we look at the buyers, and so, this is sort of the same idea recycled again and again, but it works. And so, look, this is kind of how Hormozi breaks it down inside of the Goated Ads playbook. And so there's a whole bunch of other stuff in here that he goes through. He even gives examples of some of the ads that crushed it for him. You can see here. So if you guys want me to do that, leave me a comment below. I'm going to be creating as much content as I possibly can around all of these books here, and then bringing it to you guys, and then dropping all of the show notes and all of the scripts and stuff like that inside of the free school group here, which is blowing up. We're almost at 4,000 members, and this is only 2 weeks old. So, like, in the first week, we touched number 3 in the world in the money category, which again, I'm so grateful for. I'm still sort of in awe. And I used Alex Hormozi's ACQ AI tool to break this down and be like, how do I turn this into a case study and grow this into like a $10,000 a month business? And that's why we created the Shipping Society here, where it's full of business owners and entrepreneurs and marketers who are all coming together to create and ship. And so people in the group are being held accountable. Like Nick here, number 1 priority every day. He's making 100 videos a day. He's making 100 videos in 100 days. We're having massive growth here. You can see $8,000 in sales in 3 hours. And it's just because we are taking action. And then there's a whole bunch of value, like, 10 times the value of the monthly membership. These are their words, not mine. And then after joining your community 2 hours ago, I just sat down and recorded my first 5 welcome videos. And so we're all about taking massive action in this group. And I'm only bringing this up because there's 24 hours left until the price doubles. And so if you want to lock in 50% off for life, we're running a founders pre-sale, and you can get 50% off and lock in that price at $49. So I highly encourage you guys to do that. If you want to join the free group and get some of the goodies, fantastic. But you only have 24 hours left to join this group here, Shipping Society. We're all about taking massive action, keeping each other accountable. And it's not a drop shipping group. We are shipping. So that's the idea. There's the alliteration there. All right. So that's down below as well if you want to check that out. Now, if we come here, if we look at these different stages of awareness, we've got unaware, problem aware, solution aware, product aware, most aware. And they're going to need different types of hooks, right? And so the unaware prospects, they need curiosity-driven hooks. The problem-aware prospects need pain-driven hooks. And the solution-aware prospects need promise-driven hooks. And then the product-aware prospects, they need proof-driven hooks because they're right on the line. They know that they have a problem. They know that the solution exists. They know that you exist. They just need proof that it'll work for them. And it's usually the thing that'll push them over the line. And then the most aware prospects basically just need an offer or a CTA given to them, like, hey, click here, get 20% off now, start your free trial, whatever it is. You can't hit problem-aware prospects with a most-aware offer. It's just not going to work. And that's why your ads are simply not working. And that's why when you try to scale, you deplete the previous audience and you go into the next awareness level and the messaging doesn't resonate. And that's why you can't scale. And so either you create an ad that walks people through all those stages like I kind of did here with the Create Studio ad, or you create multiple different ads that target different people based on where they are in the funnel. So you've got retargeting ads that are product aware. You've got people that browse your site, or they show intent. You hit them with offers. You've got people who are in the very top of the funnel who are unaware, and you hit them with. Hormozi actually talks about one of the highest ROI plays that you can do. Let me see if I can find it here. For that type of unaware audience, is hit them with memes. The wildest hooks possible. Pro tip: memes or meme-like content attract the largest percentage of your audience. If you target a narrower group than everyone else, then they will have their own culture-specific memes you can advertise with in much the same way. A relevant meme for a specific audience works like a moth to a flame. It will explode the number of eyeballs exposed to your ad. Consider testing them. I certainly do. And so if you have an unaware, like if you want to go after the largest market and you want to hit the unaware people, you can hit them with a meme and then sort of walk them through the awareness stages until they are most aware. Now, in the unaware audience, we hit them with curiosity-driven hooks, and that usually opens a loop, and sort of they think to themselves, wait, what is that? I need to learn more. And so here are some examples. The $11 calendar setting that adds 2 extra kept appointments each week. Why the second price you show prints more profit than the first. So it opens a loop and it gets you curious, and you're like, wait, what? I need to like, I won't be able to sleep unless that hook is unless that loop is closed. Then the one button in Stripe that rescues 4 to 7% of failed payments. And then people who are problem aware, you give them a pain-driven hook, and it's usually around pain relief. Leads book, then ghost. Swap free consult for a 10-minute scorecard. Here's why it sticks. Ad fatigue killed your CPA. Rotate 5 new hooks weekly without touching targeting. Cart views high, purchases low. You're leaking on payment trust. 3 patches. And so this is just to give you an idea, right? You know, I would spend more time writing these hooks, and he actually breaks down his top 50 hooks, his top 50 Instagram hooks, his top 50 YouTube hooks, and I think Layla's top 50 hooks as well. And so again, if you want me to bring that content to you guys, leave me a link, leave me a like and a comment below, and make sure you're in this group, and message me in here. You know, like, I am looking to you guys to tell me what types of content you want me to bring, because over the next 30 days, I'm going to be talking about this in the video tomorrow. For September, I am creating a video a day for the next 30 days, and I'm going to challenge you guys to do something similar. And so I want to bring the most relevant content to you guys. And so if you leave me a comment, I'm going to be able to know how to do that and what sort of content you guys want me to bring to you, and then I'm going to create it. Easy, right? Solution-aware prospects, they need a problem-driven hook. Big promise with specificity. Book 10 qualified calls in 14 days using the 2-signal outreach cadence. And so you still open a little bit of a hook, and there's a bit of a unique mechanism built into this. Cut no-shows by 30% with the 3-touch, 1 commitment question reminder flow. Raise prices 20% next week using their good, better, best packaging switch. So again, it's being very specific and making a big, bold promise, but that only works if your audience know that they have a problem and that the solution exists. And then if they know that you exist, 1,347 owners switched to Q2, average, etc., etc. G2 high performer, 4 quarters straight, CY 84% renewed, side-by-side onboarding in 47 minutes versus their 3 to 5 day, and you have a screen share. And then obviously the most aware, you just hit them basically, like, this is the easiest to target, which is why most marketers default to being lazy and just hitting them with like a 50% off, click here. Prices go up on $500 on September 15th. Lock in today's rate. $1 first month, then standard, cancel anytime, 2 clicks. Lifetime plan back for 48 hours, unlimited seats and priority support. So this works, but only for an audience that is most aware. So they are in your funnel, they're most aware. And so, like, you know, you can see here that basically I've hit this audience here with a most aware, you know, ad more or less, which is like get 50% off, 24 hours left. Most people in here are aware that I have a private group, and so they don't need a whole bunch of educating. Now, this is something really interesting, because what you can do once you have these hooks down is that you can create 50 of them. And Hormozi talks about the assembly process here. You can create 50 hooks, 3 to 5 meats, you know, like the core of your ad, and then 1 to 3 call to actions. And then you basically assemble all of these pieces to create 150 to 750 ads per week, which is insanity. And so that's how he's able to be omnipresent across all platforms. Is he doesn't create 750 pieces of content. He creates 50 hooks, 3 to 5 meets, 1 to 3 CTAs, and then he combines them all together and then just tests, right? And then puts them out. And so if you want me to create a video about this, I can certainly do that. Make sure to leave a like and a subscribe if you want to be notified for when that comes out. Otherwise, jump in the free school group here. I'm going to be dropping all of the show notes here for you guys. And then last thing, again, 24 hours if you want to be a winner. You want to join a private community of winners, doers, and action takers. And if you've always felt like you know the things that you need to do, but you don't do the things, And so you don't need more information. You don't need a whole bunch of stuff here. You need somebody to keep you accountable, and you need to be surrounded by people inspiring others. And obviously, sometimes it's great to have little pieces of nuggets to help you take action. But my life changed forever about 2 weeks ago when I created all of this stuff and I posted my first video in forever, and it exploded just because my friend told me, Jordan, turn the camera on and ship it. And for some reason, I listened to him and I created it and I shipped it, and I let go of people's opinions and what would happen, and I just decided to talk to a friend, kind of like I'm doing now, stumbling over my words, and just shipped it. And so that's what this whole society is about. Every day we ship something, we keep each other accountable, we learn, we grow. I'm doing a bunch of Q&As, private one-on-ones where I'm using ACQAI to break down your business. I'm sharing my business SOPs that have helped me scale so that you can just shortcut all of that, and a whole bunch of other free goodies. Anyway, I'm not going to pitch this to you guys. If you want to join, you'll join. If not, no worries. So like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.